Douglas Brinkley is an American author, professor of history at Rice University and a fellow at the James Baker Institute for Public Policy. Brinkley is the history commentator for CNN News and a contributing editor to the magazines Vanity Fair and American Heritage. A public spokesperson on conservation issues, Brinkley serves as an editor at Audubon Magazine. He joined the faculty of Rice University as a professor of history in 2007. Early life. Brinkley was born in Atlanta, Georgia in 1960, but raised in Perrysburg, Ohio. His parents were high school teachers. Education. Brinkley was educated at Perrysburg High School, a public high school in his hometown of Perrysburg, Ohio, followed by Ohio State University, from which he earned a BA, and Georgetown University, earning an MA and Ph.D. in U.S. diplomatic history. He has been on the faculty of Hofstra University, the University of New Orleans, Tulane University, and Rice University. He received an honorary doctorate for his contributions to American letters from Trinity College in Hartford, Connecticut. Life and career. During the early 1990s, Brinkley taught American arts and politics for Hofstra aboard the Magic Bus, a roving transcontinental classroom, from which emerged the book The Magic Bus: An American Odyssey. In 1993, he left Hofstra to teach at the University of New Orleans, where he taught the class again using two natural gas-fueled buses, according to the Associated Press. If you can't tour the United States yourself, the next best thing is to go along with Douglas Brinkley aboard the Magic Bus. Brinkley worked closely with his mentor, historian Stephen E. Ambrose, then director of the Eisenhower Center for American Studies at the University of New Orleans. Ambrose chose Brinkley to become director of the Eisenhower Center, a post he held for 5 years before moving to Tulane University. Brinkley's first book was Gene Monnet: The Path to European Unity. The publication of Dean Acheson, The Cold War Years, brought Brinkley popular acclaim. He then co-edited a monograph series with Arthur Schlesinger, Jr., and William Vanden Heuvel in the 1990s. Brinkley also edited a volume on Dean Acheson and the making of U.S. foreign policy with Paul H. Nitzer. In 1999, he published The Unfinished Presidency, about Jimmy Carter's active and influential post-presidency. Brinkley is the literary executive for his late friend, the journalist and author Hunter S. Thompson. He is also the editor of a 3-volume collection of Thompson's letters. Brinkley is also the authorized biographer for Beat Generation author Jack Kerouac, having edited Kerouac's diaries as Wind-Blown World. He has also written profiles of popular writers Kurt Vonnegut, Norman Mailer, and Ken Kesey for Rolling Stone magazine. In 2009, Brinkley interviewed Bob Dylan in Paris and Amsterdam for a Rolling Stone cover story. In 2004, Brinkley released Tour of Duty: John Kerry and the Vietnam War, about U.S. Senator John Kerry's military service and anti-war activism during the Vietnam War. The 2004 documentary movie, Going Upriver: The Long War of John Kerry, is loosely based on Brinkley's book. Brinkley also wrote the Atlantic Monthly cover story of December 2003 on Kerry. Brinkley's book, The Great Deluge, Hurricane Katrina, New Orleans, and the Mississippi Gulf Coast, is a record of the effects of Hurricane Katrina on the Gulf Coast. The book won the 2007 Robert F. Kennedy Book Award and was a Los Angeles Times Book Prize finalist. He also served as the primary historian for Spike Lee's documentary about Hurricane Katrina, When the Levees Broke, a requiem in 4 acts. Critic Nancy Franklin in The New Yorker noted that Brinkley made up a large part of the film's conscience. Brinkley's biography of Walter Cronkite was published in 2012. It was also selected as a Washington Post Book of the Year. Brinkley and Johnny Depp were nominated for a Grammy for the co-authoring of the liner notes of the documentary, Gonzo, The Life and Work of Dr. Hunter S. Thompson. He also co-edited with Johnny Depp the long-lost novel of Woody Guthrie titled House of Earth. Congressional hearing. On November 18, 2011, during his testimony before a congressional hearing on drilling in the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge, Brinkley had a heated exchange with Wahida Don Young, who had not been present during Brinkley's testimony, nonetheless characterized it as garbage and addressed Brinkley as Dr. Rice. In response, Brinkley stated, "It's dry." Brinkley: "Rice is a university. I know you went to Yuba College and couldn't graduate." Brinkley also noted that Young's comments were made even though Young had not been present during his testimony. Brinkley continued to argue with Young throughout the hearing until the committee chairman threatened to have Brinkley removed. Critical reception. Stephen Ambrose, Brinkley's mentor at the University of New Orleans, called Brinkley the best of the new generation of American historians. Brinkley and Ambrose had co-authored 3 books. Patrick Reardon of the Chicago Tribune called Brinkley America's new past master. Quote, "In addition, during the 2013 inauguration coverage, CNN referred to him as a man who knows more about the presidency than just about any human being alive." Quote, in contrast, in 2006, historian Wilfred McClay in the New York Sun appraised Brinkley's scholarship as one that has failed to put forward a single memorable idea, a single original analysis, or a single lapidary phrase. Similarly, author Bill Bryson characterized Brinkley as a minor American academic and sometime critic whose powers of observation and generosity of spirit would fit comfortably into a proton and still leave room for an echo. Honors. Cronkite, a biography of Walter Cronkite, received the Anne M. Sperber Biography Award for 2013. Driven Patriot, a biography of James Forrestal, received the Theodore and Franklin Roosevelt Naval History Prize. Dr. Brinkley received an honorary doctorate at Hofstra University's May 2012 graduate commencement ceremony. Personal life. Brinkley lives in Austin, Texas. He and his wife and have 3 children, Johnny, Benton, and Cassidy. He is a member of the Century Association, the Council on Foreign Relations, and Society of American Historians. Works. Original works. Driven Patriot, The Life and Times of James Forrestal, with Townsend Hoops. Dean Acheson, The Cold War Years, 1953–71. The Magic Bus, An American Odyssey. It describes his experiences taking groups of college students on tours of historic sites around the U.S., and at least partly inspired the C-SPAN bus program. Rise to Globalism, American Foreign Policy Since 1938, New York. Penguin Books, ISBN 0140268316, with Stephen Ambrose. FDR and the Creation of the UN, with Townsend Hoops. American Heritage History of the United States. The Unfinished Presidency. Jimmy Carter's Journey Beyond the White House. Witness to America with Stephen Ambrose. ISBN 9780620616118, 2010. ISBN 0061990280. Rosa Parks. The Mississippi and the Making of a Nation. For the Louisiana, purchased it today with Stephen Ambrose. ISBN 0792269136. Wheels for the World. Henry Ford, His Company, and A Century of Progress, 1903–2003. Tour of Duty, John Kerry and the Vietnam War. Voices of Valor. D-Day, June 6, 1944, with Ronald J. Dres. The World War II Memorial, A Grateful Nation Remembers. The Boys of Point Du Hoc, Ronald Reagan, D-Day, and the U.S. Army 2nd Ranger Battalion. Parish Priests, Father Michael McGivney, and American Catholicism with Julie M. Fenster. The Great Deluge, Hurricane Katrina, New Orleans, and the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Gerald R. Ford. The Wilderness Warrior, Theodore Roosevelt and the Crusade for America. The Quiet World, Saving Alaska's Wilderness Kingdom, 1879–1960. Cronkite. Rightful Heritage, Franklin D. Roosevelt and the Crusade for America. Silent Spring Revolution, John F. Kennedy, Rachel Carson, Stuart Udall, and the Environmental Movement, 1961–1964. As editor of The Proud Highway, Saga of a Desperate Southern Gentleman, 1955–1967 ed. With Hunter S. Thompson. Fear and Loathing in America, The Brutal Odyssey of an Outlaw Journalist, 1968–1976 ed. With Hunter S. Thompson. Wind-Blown World, The Journals of Jack Kerouac, 1947–1954 ed. The Reagan Diaries ed. Jack Kerouac wrote novels, 1957–1960 ed. The Nixon Tapes ed. With Luke A. Nichter. The Nixon Tapes, 1973 ed. With Luke A. Nichter.